Hello, and welcome to Old Toy, New Joy, the show where I share with you my previously enjoyed toys I purchased from online sources, thrift stores, and collector shows that once belonged to someone else. Last week, I posted a video of Jilly Bean and I talking about some of my loose modern Star Wars action figures, and then I realized afterwards I didn't even talk about the ones I still have in the package. So then I thought, well, it makes sense that these might have their own episode. So today we'll look at some of my mostly Power of the Force Star Wars action figures from the 1990s that are still in their original packaging. I also thought I'd bring out this book, the one that we used in the last episode to help us identify the figures. Star Wars The Ultimate Action Figure Collection. As we talk about each of the figures, this gives a little bit of insight and sort of confirms the year and which movie and version that the figure was associated with. So up first we have Yak Face, or Salt Murray, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. This is a Power of the Force Collection 2 figure. Let's take a look at the back here. I think this one, 1997, Lucasfilm. So long before Disney bought the rights, of course. And it's got some stats, some information on the back there. This figure was very briefly in the original movie. I mean, you barely got to see him. I think this was in Jabba's palace in Return of the Jedi. Barely see him. Like, it's just a few seconds. And they made a figure anyways. In 1985, they put out a few very rare and expensive action figures that were only available. This one, anyways, was only available in Canada. Let's take a look here. This camel-faced alien is the 93rd figure in the Collect All 92 promotion. He was never available in the United States, although apparently he was going to be part of a special mail-away offer. He was packaged on a 92 back bilingual card in Canada and on a tri-logo trilingual card in Europe. And every once in a while on eBay, I'll see one of these original figures. They can fetch thousands of dollars, especially if they're still in the package. And then in 1997, they came out with the version that I have, and I think I paid $3 for it. There's a fellow who has a booth at a local collector's show that I go to sometimes, and he always has a rack of Power of the Force action figures still in the package, usually for around $3, so I'll always pick up a couple and just to keep. I like them. One more look there. And here's the 1995 Bobo Fett. So this was the first year of the Power of the Force. Take a look at the back of the card. Extremely popular figure. Right off the bat, everybody loved Boba Fett. Here's the original. And I have an original figure. And you can see that the difference between the 1980s and the 1990s, action figures in general were not so straight-armed, straight-legged, basic. They pumped out their shoulders a bit, bent their arms, bent their legs, give them more of an action pose. And I think that was synonymous with what was happening in Hollywood at the time. Action figures were like action heroes. They needed to be muscular and fit in shape and more intimidating physically. You can thank Stallone and Schwarzenegger and Van Damme for that. And here's the version from Power of the Force. And here we have Grito. And what's interesting here is they finally decided to make Grito look more like the character in the movie. If you'll remember, the original Grito looked like this. And he did not have the orange vest and the yellow sleeves. But our version here, as you can see, sorry, it's not focusing there. It's not moving it so much. This poor excuse for a bounty hunter looks a lot more like the character in the movie than the version from the vintage line. Exactly. Yeah, the vintage line was lacking. Maybe they whipped that one off kind of quickly, but I find that they got the costume a lot more accurate here. And this is one of my favorites. This is Grand Moff Tarkin. And oddly enough, this was the first action figure for Grand Moff Tarkin. He had a pretty good size role in the original Star Wars movie, but he didn't get a figure. And I never understood why. And as we'll see here, Tarkin, played by the beloved horror movie maven Peter Cushing, was never produced for the vintage line, perhaps because he wasn't engaged in a lot of action. Yeah, but he had lines. Those other figures that you saw them for a few seconds, like Yak Face, didn't say anything and they got a figure. I like Peter Cushing. I like him in the Dracula movies opposite Christopher Lee. My favorite Dracula movie with Peter Cushing is Dracula 1972 AD. And of course, in Rogue One, they brought him back to life. The actor had already passed away a few years before, and he was in some very memorable scenes as a digital reincarnation, along with this character here, Director Krennic, played by one of my favorite actors, Ben Mendelsohn. I think I actually bought this at a dollar store. It's pretty neat when you can buy Star Wars action figures at the dollar store. It was only a few dollars. Very good likeness. Excellent character. Let's take a look at this one. I know it's not a Power of the Force, but I love Rogue One. I gotta be honest with you, Rogue One might be my third or fourth of all the Star Wars movies. I'm including the originals. Definitely my favorite of the newest movies. Excellent movie. And here we have a Power of the Force, Princess Leia. Does not look like Princess Leia to me at all. Here's an original. It's a little beat up, and even this original looks more like Carrie Fisher than this figure does. And let's take a look here. There's the original. And here's the one we're talking about. So the 1995 Power of the Force 2. Doomed forever to be known to fans as Monkey Face Leia, the figure has a perpetual scowl. This is the first new Leia figure in the revived line. Yes, and it left a lot to be desired in the likeness. As you can see, I don't know what they were thinking. Yeah, they got the hair right. And yeah, the body is in more of an action pose. Pretty good job there. Fortunately, I have a couple more to show you. This is the 1998 Princess Leia Blockade Runner. This was a 2-pack with R2-D2. So already an improvement on the face. Definitely looks more like the Princess Leia we know. Let's take a look at the package here. Yes, we all know that scene. Help me, Obi Kenobi. You're my only help. And, there you go. There's some other pieces that were available. And here is the award ceremony Leia. Let's take a look here. Sorry, see if I can zoom in. Not bad. Not a bad likeness. Here it is. This Leia figure paired with Luke is the first portrayal of either at the medal ceremony. At the end of Star Wars, Luke comes with his medal. Okay, well this one's not paired with Luke, so perhaps that's a different packaging altogether. And that one's from... Oh, what year is this one? 1998. Really? Okay. One of my favorites, Star Wars Saga Legends. The packaging says 2010 on it. This is of Jango Fett, Bobo Fett's father. I love the detail. So many times I've been tempted to open this up and put all his accessories on. I believe, I'm not sure, this might be the one in the book. The years don't match up, but it looks most likely like this one. This is another all-new Jango figure, but this time with a soft goods poncho. Fett's helmet is the only part that has been used elsewhere. This is an unusual figure. With the poncho, the helmet, and the armor removed, it becomes the Fett who meets Obi-Wan in his apartment on Kamino, dressed in a long-sleeve blue shirt and pants. Yes, I remember that scene well, so I think that's the one I have. So let's take a look here. Well, there's the scene. Yeah, I think that's the one I have. I just don't quite understand. And that's a Hasbro. Here's a 2010 vintage collection. Hasbro put out the original Kenner card look for this. The first Mace Windu was actually in 1998, and it looked like this. And I had it. I remember I bought it. I'm not sure where it is now. And the likeness wasn't that great, but pretty good for then. It was a pretty cool figure. But here's the vintage collection. So it's from Attack of the Clones. Mace is a repaint of a 2007 Windu figure with an all-new head sculpt and a soft goods skirt. The legs have also been repositioned. So, oops, a shadow here. Good head sculpt. That's been something that a lot of fans have complained that they couldn't quite get Samuel's face. I think they did a pretty good job here. Some I find are better than others. And here's a 1998 card. This is Watto from the Phantom Menace. He's a silly character. And let's see if we can find him in the book here. Here we go. Watto with data pad. So I guess it's like his iPad. 1999, The Phantom Menace, Episode 1. The hovering Toydarian junk dealer owns slave boy Anakin Skywalker and his mother, Shmi. Here he holds a data pad, the Star Wars version of an iPad. And lastly, we'll talk about this Tuscan Raider. It's a 1996 card. It's a Series 2, The Power of the Force. Some other figures. Talked about those Jawas last episode. And very different from the original Tuscan Raider. I have one of these. I don't have the vinyl cape, but it's one of those figures where they put the vinyl cape on it. And pretty basic. And then here we go. There's the change. The tribal sand people fascinated audiences from the start. Who are these desert nomads? How do they survive for all their menace? How can Obi-Wan Kenobi imitating the sound of a crate dragon scare them off. Yes, and what, they travel single file to hide their numbers and all that. Pretty cool creation. So, hope you enjoyed today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, please like the video. This is your Toy Whisperer signing off for now. Until next time, take care.